Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. Well, we're back, or I'm back. So, I had a good 4th of July. Hopefully you guys did too. I woke up really late, a little hungover today. But I'm here and I have a brand new topic to share with you guys, and that is the real reason why Bitcoin miners are being kicked out of China. I know this is a big thing that I've been talking about and the world has been focusing on for quite some time, but I'm going to present something new today, and I think it's very important to recognize, and why this reason is actually fantastic for Bitcoin. All right, so let's get started. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams every day, 11:30 and 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified. And follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and CryptosRUs.com. All right, guys, welcome back. I did not stream last night. That was the first time I didn't do 2 streams every day for, like, I don't know, forever. Forever, it seems like. All right. So Bitcoin volume is extremely low. It did come down a little bit, about 36.7, but volume today, a lot of people, it's a long weekend in the US. A lot of people are still traveling, coming back home, so today is still like a weekend pretty much. Tomorrow is when things start. The new week really starts. But real quick at the portfolio here, about 55,000. I averaged dollar cost average $100 last Wednesday. This Wednesday I will do the same. And if you look at overall, most things are up. Ethereum has been killing it. You look at VeChain has been killing it. Solana, Theta, and Doge, they're in the red. So not happy about that. But even Cosmos up 12, BPro up 18. So overall, things are recovering pretty well, except Theta and Dogecoin, which I do think they will come back. But it's time to dollar cost average some more this coming Wednesday. All right, let's talk about the main topic here. Why the real reason why Bitcoin miners are being kicked out of China, and of course we know that this is a big thing, right? 80 or 90% of Bitcoin miners is getting kicked out. And after I saw this headline, it all made sense, and I'm going to wrap it up. The biggest ride-hailing app, DiDi, in China, they are so big, in fact, that Uber couldn't even compete with them, and Uber caved in China because of how big they are. And they were just ordered in China to basically take down all their apps. Basically, they're being shut down because of concerns. Or what are these concerns? Well, they're afraid that data being collected, right, is being shared with the wrong parties. So I'm going to explain a little further what that means. But the fact that China can basically one day just shut down one of the biggest companies in China tells you something, right? It's just like almost immediate. Now, they didn't shut down the whole company, but they're shutting down the apps, which essentially, I think I read about 350 million users is immediately locked out. So what does it have to do with Bitcoin? Well, let me remind you guys that not too long ago, the biggest company in China, Alibaba and Jack Ma, disappeared for 3 months, just out of the blue. And that's because Alipay, which was set to come out with the biggest IPO, I think, in China, their IPO was just canceled because the CCP in China were concerned about what Jack Ma was saying, and they didn't like it at all, and they just basically disbanded the IPO, and Jack Ma was gone for 3 months, and even now he's not very outspoken. All right, so what does that have to do with Bitcoin? Well, as you can see, China is really all about control, and more control. And even though the vast majority of Bitcoin mining was in China, the one thing that they can't control is Bitcoin. Is you can't control it. You can't control it. The network is spread across the globe, even though a vast majority of it was in China. But still, you couldn't really control it. It didn't go through the traditional financial means, the banks, right? The central bank, the banks, and the financial, the financial regulators that are looking at all that. They couldn't control that, right? And they want control. And we know that they're coming out with the digital yuan right now. And that is basically a state-controlled, monitored digital currency. It's no different than their fiat yuan. It's just this is a digital version of it, right? So this is the reason why they're kicking out Bitcoin miners, mostly because they want to kick out Bitcoin. They don't want something that is basically open source, non-sovereign, non-controllable, right? They don't want something like that in their country. They want to kick it out. They want to kick them out. So this is all about control. And why is this good? Why is this good for Bitcoin? Well, the less of it that's in China, that belongs in China, the better it is for us and for Bitcoin and for the world, right? So this is why ever since this flood started coming out about, Bitcoin mining being kicked out of China, this is a fantastic thing. This was actually one of the things that the naysayers or critics were pointing to about Bitcoin, because there was really not else you could say bad about Bitcoin other than, well, look at it. You have a centralized centralized mining because a lot of it belongs in China. Well, now we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about it because 90% is kicked out. The hash rate has dropped tremendously, but we know it's going to pick up. I just talked about how 3 difficulty adjustments were in the red. Well, that is a bottom indicator, and that also shows that Bitcoin mining is extremely profitable right now. It's basically 50% easier to mine Bitcoin right now. So all the miners that are operating that hasn't been kicked out of China, they're making money left and right. They're making a lot more money these days. So overall, this is a fantastic thing. I just want to show you guys. I think this is important. The reason why China is kicking out the miners is not due to anything fundamentally bad about Bitcoin. In fact, it's just all about control. And they don't like losing control. They don't want their citizens. They don't want miners, the publicly traded companies or just companies in general, to be involved with it within China because they can't really control them, right? So it's all about control. And the less control they have over Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining, the better it is. The better it is, and that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And by the way, so just to wrap up on DiDi, why did they crack down besides data? They were concerned about data and so forth. I was looking at this. I think this also had a lot to do with it, is that they opened the IPO within the US. So they made an enormous amount of money. I think they sold about 4.4 billion worth of shares, and also they're now valued around $70 billion. But here's the thing. They're probably, according to CNN, they're probably investigating over purchase of certain products and services from other suppliers. This is the reason why China is concerned about data and data leaks and so forth, because they may be utilizing maybe US-based network equipment and so forth. So that is also a concern. Just want to clarify that. But overall, it's all about control, right? And they don't want to lose any of it. But for everyone else, for the US, for El Salvador, for all the Latin American countries that's thinking about entering Bitcoin, and Europe, Australia, everywhere else, this is a fantastic thing. So I thought that was interesting. I thought that's interesting to share. All right, what else is interesting that's directly I lost my train of thought. Something that's important. Let's just put it that way. Bitcoin exchange supply hits a 6-month low as accumulation continues. I've been covering this a lot about how big boys, whales, and even retail investors both have been taking opportunity and buying the dips and accumulating. So if you look at this is according to sentiment. If you look at, I think I have this pulled up already. Yes. Bitcoin ratio supply and exchanges has now inched down to a 6-month low, going all the way back to January. So the green obviously is the price of Bitcoin, and then you can see this is the other brown line is represents the Bitcoin reserves, and it is creeping down, 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 down. So why is this a good thing? Well, it shows you that everyone in general has been buying and buying and buying. When the reserves on exchanges go down, generally speaking, Bitcoin's price starts going up. And overall, if you think about it, that's how Bitcoin's price will go up because we have a lot of buying within the OTC market, right? We know that like Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy, when the banks, when big institutions, when they don't buy on the spot exchanges. They buy OTC market. However, when the OTC market dries up, guess where the Bitcoin's coming from, right? From the spot exchanges. So a lot of time you'll see large outflows from, say, Coinbase Pro, like $1 billion worth of Bitcoin just outflowed for no reason. Well, there is a reason. It's to fulfill these OTC orders. So as the spot exchanges have less and less and less Bitcoin, right? That's a fantastic thing for us holders that already have some, because as demand goes up and supply goes down, guess what happens? The price starts skyrocketing, right? And that's why we have seen Bitcoin go up almost 11x since the last year alone, and why it has gone up millions and millions % since 2009, right? And this trend will continue as the supply and the reserves on exchanges of spot markets go down and down and down and down. And as more and more people want to jump into Bitcoin, guess what happens? The prices just go up parabolically. This is why so many people, including myself, believe Bitcoin is going to go above 100,000, and that's really only the beginning. It will go much higher than that with every single 4-year cycle or halving event. So very interesting, something to pay attention to. What else is there? Well, lastly is this, Coinbase. Some of you guys are on Coinbase, and I know more than a few of you guys have complained to me about how Coinbase, their customer service, their support ticket system is just broken. You've waited 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and no answer. Well, according to Coinbase, they know this, and they have hired 5x the number of support staff since January. And according to them, the customer contact rate has been reduced by 70%. So I don't know if some of you guys have tried to, have you submitted a ticket? Have you seen a difference? I'm thinking Coinbase, now that they're publicly traded, they should have more money now to be able to hire basically unlimited amount of support staff, right? It should be pretty instantaneous. I don't know how many they actually have, or if things have really improved, but feel free to chime in and let me know if it really has improved recently, or they're still very understaffed. Pretty much that's it. That's it. All right, going into CMC, 1.41 trillion, a little bit lower than yesterday, but we're overall still stuck in that, BTC still stuck in that 41 to 31 range. So when it's stuck there, altcoins tend to be stuck there. But BTC dominance did go down slightly, 44.9%, and that's because Ethereum and others have been slowly increasing a little bit more over the past few weeks, so that's encouraging. But overall, we're kind of still stuck in this range. But you know what? We just have to stay strong. We have to stay strong, stay focused, right? Everything I've been showing you guys, everything I've been telling you guys, it's all adding up. It's all adding up, slowly but surely. And when things are ready to move, all these little things and all the billions that sit on the sidelines, when they enter, ooh, you don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss that. All right, let's do some Q&A. Man, a lot of deleted messages this morning. I don't know how many spammers there are today. David asks, can you explain the difference between spot and OTC market? OTC market is just peer-to-peer. You want to sell your Bitcoin to someone and they buy it, no one else will know about that transaction. That's basically an OTC market. If someone that wants to buy $1 billion of Bitcoin, they find a seller of $1 billion of Bitcoin and they make the transaction. OTC market is just that. It's just a P2P. It's outside the spot market, so order books, they have no clue about it. This is really the easiest way to think about it. Some people chimed in that Coinbase support has been getting better. So no. Marshawn says Coinbase still sucks. I don't. Okay, so some people say it's better, some people still says it still sucks. The next Gordon, appreciate that. Barclays in the UK banned deposits into Binance. I did see that, but that's not a surprise because the UK watchdog, they don't like Binance, their derivative side, their futures and leverage side, and there was like some exchange that Binance bought that they didn't like. So Barclays, obviously being the UK, they just want to comply. That's not a big surprise. Jay Valens, I had a good fourth. Hopefully you did too. What do you think about centric token? I don't know. Is it centric cash? It's too small and too early. You think Chinese might shut down on purpose to get difficult adjustment greater than it would have been? Yes, I do think so. Marcel, you think very alike. I had that same thought, but I just kept it to myself. Scotty, I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that. Does George hate Vertcoin? Yes, I do. I don't hate it, but I think it's silly. I think Vertcoin is just a fork of Litecoin, except it was ASIC resistant. I think that was their only claim to fame. What else is there? Fern Dog, I did. I had a bunch of fireworks last night. A bunch. It was actually really fun to light up. Ecomi and VV is good. Anything new with nulls? I haven't paid attention recently, but they were still onboarding a lot of new projects. So that's pretty darn good. Telcoin with their V3 is also very good. Your opinion on XRP, is it a good buy right now? Well, yeah, I would say so. XRP recently was high as like $1.30, I think, so it's about half off. Most of the altcoins are still about half off from their recent peak, right? So when you look at it that way, 50% off, yeah, sounds pretty good. Litecoin after Mimblewimble. That's been talked about since 2018. Let's see if that ever gets implemented. That has been the one thing that Charlie has been spreading around. Like, yes, we have something big coming up, and that's Mimblewimble. And it was revealed that no one was working on it, not even him. And even now, 3 years later, 4 years later, yes, Mimblewimble is coming. Still not here. Do you think it's okay to use VPN to get on Bybit to pick? Why would you need to go on Bybit to purchase XRP? You could go on KuCoin right now and buy XRP if you wanted to. Using VPN to get on exchange that you're not supposed to buy is risky because there are exchanges that can detect that and they will allow they will stop withdrawals. So they may allow you to buy, but they'll stop withdrawals. So be careful. Be careful. Do you think that staking Cake via Trust Wallet and PancakeSwap? Yeah, I know Trust Wallet is a good wallet, but if you're staking Cake on PancakeSwap, which is basically their own AMM, it's about as good as it can get. Although, you know, with high interest rates, I gotta throw this out there, with any AMM, and with high interest rates, you know, being a liquidity provider in those pools, you gotta be careful. We have seen many of them get hacked or had vulnerabilities or some kind of thing where a lot of people lost a lot of money. So be careful. Be careful. Someone's saying KuCoin is pumping hard. Let's see if it is. Not bad. Not bad. 10%. They recently came out their new community chain too, so maybe they go onboard DeFi projects as well. Christian, I just want to say hello. I'm watching right now from Scotland. Never miss one of your videos. Thank you. What's a good exchange I could use besides Binance in the UK? That's a good question. I don't know. UK didn't just go after Binance. They went after a lot of exchanges. So I don't even know what's open. You'll have to do some research. Or you could use official broker like Caleb and Brown. They will help you buy, and they have a lot of services. But in terms of exchanges, UK didn't just shut down Binance. They shut down like a dozen or half dozen exchanges that are unregulated according to them because of their, you know, futures and leverage offerings. So I guess just do some research. A lot of people are saying Bybit requiring KYC. I mean, I'm happy to hear about that. I'm really happy to hear about that. Hopefully that prevents some, you know, new people that's coming into the space, you know, that's just quickly trying to jump onto leverage. This will prevent them from getting wrecked. So I'm glad to hear that. Do derivatives affect the price, or is the other way around? Yes, it does. I mean, they're all affected. I mean, they use different order books, but the order books are connected in some way, shape, or fashion. So, yeah, they're connected. That's why a lot of times you'll see that a large inflow gets deposited into, like, say, Bybit or BitMax or something like that. And as soon as it does, like a half hour, hour later, things tank. So they're definitely connected. Stephanie from Netherlands, welcome. I've been looking. I've been lookout for Coinbase account for 1 month, starting to put complaints all over. I don't know. I think you're asking. You've been doing research on Coinbase and you see a lot of complaints. That's true. A lot of other exchanges also have a lot of complaints, mostly because of the influx of users, so they couldn't handle the volume. But Coinbase, I just got done showcasing this. Supposedly they've been hiring left and right, so hopefully it has been getting better. I don't know if it has. I don't use Coinbase. Opinion on XRP and SEC? I don't know. I mean, it's ongoing, right? Eventually, it's going to settle. They're going to settle. XRP is going to pay some fine and then it'll go be on their way. I don't know if Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse are going to still be around afterwards because they have also been individually sued by the SEC. Who knows? Who knows? I do think overall they're going to get through it. And XRP will probably pump afterwards. Thoughts on eToro? I've heard much about them before. they were advertising like crazy. So I haven't used them personally, so can't really comment, but maybe we can work on something together in the future. Any change on Shiba views? No. Why would my views on Shiba change? It's only been like a week. Why would it change? What else is there? I have 0.1 BTC. Should I swap into ETH while it's low? Well, if you don't follow the 50-25-25 rule, you should. So it doesn't matter if you have 0.1 BTC, 1 BTC, 10 BTC, 100 BTC. I do recommend 50-25-25. It has worked very well for me in the past. And it still works well. And you could deviate a little bit from it, but it sounds like you're all BTC, which if you just want to store value, you don't care about anything else going on in the space, then okay, you could be 100% in BTC. But if you do care about altcoins and DeFi and the potential of them and getting in early and speculating on some of these projects that can become the powerhouses of the future, then I would say 50-25-25. Rob, I did. I showed it right away at the beginning. So it's at 5,500 right now. So not too bad. I'll add in another $100 this Wednesday. Been finding the lead DeFi on the new chains ADA, DOT, Solana, but can Aave just build a bridge between the chains and also on new projects? Yeah, they could, but they're not really. Aave they do have. I take that back. Yes, a lot of these could have a bridge, or they could just live multi-chain. Some of them are multi-chain, right? It's just that building a chain, or building a bridge, I should say, or being on multiple chains take a lot of development efforts, and a lot of them just don't want to go through with that. But some of them are already like that. I don't want to really mention it, like Vince, like what you're saying about TechLead's new coin. TechLead is not a crypto guy. He just jumped in because it was hot, like many others that just jumped in. So I can't comment on his coin, but I don't like the fact that a lot of guys just jumped into crypto now because it's the hot thing, the popular thing to talk about. And yeah, but anyways, I don't watch any of them, so... Is there another delay for VeChain POA 2.0? I didn't hear anything about that, so I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. Why do you think Kusama has been recovering very slowly? Not really. Not really. They have been in line with... I think Kusama is still moving faster than Polkadot. All right. Thoughts on Skynet? You mean Siacoin Skynet? I think okay. There's a lot of projects like that. NKN is in there, in that space. There's another one that I saw recently that's in that space. So they're very, very. I mean, it's very hard to displace the internet. All right, and to get enough nodes that acting like DNS servers and kind of resolving their own addresses. It's going to take some effort. Let's do it. Let's just chalk it up to that. What do you think about a large position MicroStrategy and Chinese government have in BTC? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. MicroStrategy, of course, has a large position. So are you thinking that's bad or good? And Chinese government, is that bad or good? I mean... The more holders out there, the more that are holding on Bitcoin, the better it is. Basically, I don't even know how to answer that question, or whether or not that's a question at all. All right, guys, let's wrap up. So overall, why did China kick out the Bitcoin miners? It's simple. It's due to control. If they can just, on a whim, crack down on their biggest ride-sharing, hailing project, that has 350 million users. If they could do that and they could shut down Jack Ma, you know what? That shows you how powerful they are, right? And how they are not to be messed with. But really, it's all about control. It's all about control. They want to make sure they have control of users' data, what they're doing with their money, what their people are spending on, and so forth, right? And that is why I think they're kicking out all Bitcoin miners, because Bitcoin is something that you just can't control. You can't control it. So they're kicking out the miners. They're trying to make sure that Bitcoin is not going to affect their plans, their agenda. But that's a fantastic thing for everyone else. For everyone else that's holding Bitcoin, all the countries and citizens everywhere around the world, we're seeing a big benefit from this, a very big benefit. Maybe short term, not so much. Long term, this is going to be a fantastic thing, very fantastic thing. So that's pretty much it. All right, I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. And that's it. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.